welcome back to another interesting discussion right here as we bring to you the season 3 of T3 podcast series Bolder Voices, Better Insights. This is Kuhilika Roy Chaudhary from Travel Trends Today. Extend a very warm welcome to all of you. Today, we have an interesting discussion aligned which aims to delve into Dubai's tourism sphere, closely analyze the travel dynamics of the destination, and also understand more on the strategy side as to how the destination is planning to strengthen its position on the global tourism map. And to share the actual facts and details with us, we have today a very prominent guest. He is a destination marketing expert. He currently heads Dubai Department of Economy and Tourism's tourism agenda in South Asia as well as Middle East and North Africa regions that collectively contributes over 40% of total inbound tourism to the Emirate of Dubai. I think by now you have already guessed the name. So without any further delay, let me quickly welcome Mr. Bedr Ali Habib, who is the mastermind and the regional head of proximity markets at Dubai Department of Economy and Tourism. Welcome, Mr. Bedr.
Thank you so much, Koyaka. That was a very nice introduction. Thank you, and thanks to your audiences and Travel Trends Today for having me here.
Lovely, a very warm note to begin with. So, Mr. Bedr, let's start with Dubai, the destination itself. So, how are you developing it? Please share with us what's there on the government's vision for Dubai and where do you want to see it in the 10 years?
Sure. So, as part of the vision set out by our ruler, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, he's introduced the Urban Master Plan, which was introduced in the year 2021, which aims to improve Dubai's urban landscape and make it more sustainable, at the same time build happy communities. And as part of that development, we're also looking to expand our tourism offerings by 100%. So the entire ecosystem is geared towards ensuring that people living in Dubai and visiting Dubai are addressed through their entire visitation and can enjoy a good and a good time in Dubai. We also have the UAE Tourism Strategy 2031, which aims to attract 40 million hotel guests by the year 2031. And with that, we aim to ensure that, while we build on that, we can ensure that the multiple industries come together, such as hospitality, aviation, such as travel and trade as well. So all investments are being put in place to ensure that we grow sustainably and that we can continue attracting more and more visitors from all parts of the world. And particularly in 2024, the focus is to diversify further and reach new geographies, not just within India, of course, but globally as well. We're also looking at more cooperation with domestic stakeholders and international stakeholders to find out how can we grow our footprints globally and how can we make it more seamless for visitors to come and visit Dubai. We're also looking to create unique value propositions for different segments. We're working closely with stakeholders to understand what new propositions can be introduced, whether that's in policy making or new attractions or the hotels. Just to give you some context, our hotel numbers this year has touched about 150,000 rooms available in Dubai, and that's a record. And this is the first time that we reached that number. And we're very keen, and that's purely works on supply demand. We definitely see there is demand forward, and that's why we've gone ahead with the stakeholders to put more hotels. And today we're glad to say that we're fully ready and prepared to welcome more and more visitors in 2024 and beyond.
Lovely. I think the vision is quite set and clear and concrete. So also in lines with this vision, Mr. Bedr, can you also shed some light on some of the marketing and promotional ideas that you have in order to develop Dubai's tourism profile on the global tourism map?
Sure. And I'm proud to say that, we are a destination that has global campaigns running throughout the year. In fact, within India itself, we have a campaign hitting India or targeting India every single day of the year to ensure that at every given point, Indian visitors or people searching or looking for Dubai can understand what Dubai has to offer. And we go more bespoke and tailored to ensure that the person looking for Dubai gets the information that he or she is looking for. I think what's very interesting now that we are closer to the summer school break out of India in specific, we're launching the Kids Go Free, which is a global campaign where we are introducing and we've put together the entire tourism ecosystem with hotels and attractions to offer children go free offers in hotels, in restaurants, in attractions. So any child that's under the age of 12 will be able to stay with parents at no extra cost. And this is something that we want to showcase, specifically in India, given that India and the summertime is when we do address a lot of your value-driven audiences, and that's what Indians expect from Dubai, that Dubai is going to give them the best in class at the best price. And this is us coming together and saying, you know what, while Dubai has a lot to offer in terms of discounts, we also ensure that we have world-class attractions, theme parks, beaches, cool attractions, and more so the focus in summer then continues more towards indoor attractions. And we have a lot of them now, and we're very proud to say that at any given point, tourists would not be, would not have any challenges with the weather, because sometimes there's a perception that, okay, it might be a little warm, but we have so much of indoor attractions that is for couples, solo travelers, adventure seekers, and family. And we're confident that collectively, with the value proposition of Kids Go Free, we'll be able to make it a very, very enjoyable summer vacation for a lot of families from India and from the world.
Lovely and brilliant again. So, Mr. Vedar, apart from this global vision, let me also dig a deep into the India markets perspective as well. So, how is India positioned in your overall scheme of source markets? What kind of destination image and profile you want carved in the mind of Indian travelers and Indian market in particular?
Sure. India is a very interesting market, not because it's very, very rich in culture and diversity, but it's also because it's very close to us, and it has been a legacy, destination. We've been a legacy destination for Indians. Today, India is the number one source market for us. It was number one the first time back in 2015. So we truly understand what Indian tourists mean to us, and we've been able to tailor ourselves for the market extremely well. Last year, we hosted about 2.46 million international visitors from India, which was the highest number we've seen from India in history. It also happens to be 30% more than the year before, and roughly more than 20% versus 2019, which was pre-pandemic. So we see a lot of adulation from India, and I think there are a couple of reasons for that. Number one, because of the proximity. We believe we are a stone throw away from India. We've built the right aviation infrastructure to ensure that we have a lot of flights available for Indians to come. The visa policies are very, very supportive to ensure that Indians can get visas within 1 or 2 days to come and fly into Dubai. And then we also have multiple visa schemes that we can talk about a bit later. Apart from that, I think when it comes to the diverse cultures that Dubai has to offer, one thing that we hear from Indians a lot is that, Dubai is home away from home. At the same time, it has this multinational kind of a vibe, which is exactly what we want to position ourselves in India. We want to be familiar. Yes, we want to be, an easy destination. At the same time, we want to give them this world-class, feeling that they've come to an international destination where they get best in class in terms of hospitality, shopping, attractions, and the transport. And that's what we're working towards. Apart from this, obviously, I wanted to emphasize that apart from this, we've also worked towards our cuisine and the offerings that we have in F&B. As you know, we are a Michelin featured destination now. We have Michelin starred restaurants in Dubai. Many of them are Indian restaurants. We fully understand that Indians out of India want to come and experience some of their own food, and then they want to go and also venture out and understand what other meal options they have. And given India's richness in culture, we understand that there are vegans and vegetarians as well, and we fully understand that. And today, Dubai, is proud to say that we have a lot of bespoke offerings for Indians, not just within the Indian cuisine sector, but also within the international cuisines. We have something for everybody. So I think collectively, we want to make sure that our positioning in India remains that Dubai is a friendly destination. It's always going to open its arms to you. At the same time, whenever you come to Dubai, it has something new to offer to you. And that's something that we hear very often in my trips to India with my meetings with the travel trade and even some of the consumer cohorts. A lot of people say, "Brother, what's new?" Every time they meet me, 3 months down the line, what's new? 6 months down the line, what's new? And surprisingly, we always have something new to tell them. So I'm glad that, we've been able to keep up with the expectations that Indians have of Dubai, and that we've been able to ensure that they do feel welcomed and they feel hospitable, and that they can see a lot of Indian faces now in our campaigns as well. So they see a lot of. So we made sure that within our marketing outreach as well, we work closely with faces that are known to Indians, faces that resonate with Indians, faces that speak to them very well. So we take a two-pronged approach. We ensure that we work a lot with UGC content, which is user-generated, and then we also work on bespoke marketing campaigns that is more brand-oriented. So I think with India, given that it's the number one source market, we have all hands on ground, and we have all, we're all really, really keen to see how we can take it to the next level in 2024 especially, and beyond.
Sounds absolutely promising, and I convey my warm regards absolutely towards that. So, jumping on to the next question, as you have mentioned about travel trade, Dubai organized mega familiarization trips and workshops for travel agents and also participated in trade exhibitions.
Mhm.
So, what does your roadmap for travel trade arena look like this year?
Sure. To give you some context on 2024, I'll just recap some of our 2023 achievements. In terms of absolute outreach in India, 2023 has been the best year for us. And I say that with full confidence because we've been able to penetrate more than 30 to 35 cities within India through our roadshows, fam trips, sales calls, workshops, in-market activations. We've ensured that every single city that has an indirect connectivity to Dubai knows about Dubai directly from the people of Dubai. So instead of relying on horse's mouth, we've made sure that we have our teams in market go and meet people, as places like Bhubaneswar, places like Coimbatore, places like for Baroda, for example. And these are cities that typically don't have direct connectivity, at least some of them. And we still went there because we know they can take a 2-hour drive and get to an airport that can bring them to Dubai. So I'm very proud to say that over the course of 2023, we hosted more than 200 agents, and 100 of this alone was in a mega fam, and this was the largest mega fam we've conducted since the pandemic across any market. I'm very proud that India happens to be the market that we've been able to pull it off. And that mega fam alone had more than 30 agents from 30 different cities, and you can imagine 30 cities would then cross into tier 2, tier 3 as well, and maybe even tier 4, because we know wherever there are people who are looking for some leisurely activity and has some means to do it, will consider Dubai as the first destination out of India. And thankfully, that did very well for us. Another important milestone that we had last year was the introduction of workshops. Now, we always conducted roadshows and mega fams, but we realized that that we need to be in depth with the information, because despite a lot of penetration, we realized that the information was still somehow being, was not very accurate. So we went ahead and introduced these in-depth workshops where we sat down with top agents from the top 10 cities of India and re-explained and repositioned Dubai for them. And we did it in a way that if the workshop is happening in the summer, the positioning and the messaging would be about the summers. If it goes in the winters, we talk about the winters. If we're looking at the luxury segment, then the workshops were tailored for the luxury offerings. If the offering was more for solo and adventure, we would speak about them. But we made sure that we reiterated that Dubai's positioning is beyond just your top 5 attractions that people in India know of. And you can count them on their fingers. So we wanted to see how can they know the next 10 attractions. And we know from our data, and we understand from being working with Indians for many years, that Indians are accustomed to attractions. Yes, hotels is a component, but the most absolute important component for an Indian holiday seeker is the number of attractions they can do in their holiday. This is just a cultural thing, right? When a father takes his family, the children want to do as much as possible, and the father wants the value from there. So we made sure that we can educate people that Dubai today has over 130 attractions. That is one attraction every 7 kilometers, if you look absolute value. And Dubai end to end is about, if you drive from one end of Dubai to the other end of Dubai, it's about 60 kilometers. To have 130 attractions within that space, is very, the opportunity and the options that Indians have is unparalleled. And I don't think so there's any other destination that can give so much to Indians within that much period. And that's also, the discussion we always have with stopover. At this point, stopover becomes a very important component for us, because we know a lot of Indians use Dubai as a transit to go to the West. And we fully understand that there are Indians who can take a 48-hour pit stop in Dubai before they move on, or can come back and do their shopping and go back to India. And our next focus will also be on how we can grow the share of stopover passengers from India, to ensure that we can bring them into Dubai and showcase that, listen, you have these many attractions across these many geographies within the city of Dubai. Depending on where you're staying, you'll be able to do so much with your family. So we're encouraging them to come, step in. The visa policies are easy. Being Indians with the US, visas or green card have on-arrival visas. So it makes it very easy for a lot of people flying into the West to come and stop into Dubai, enjoy themselves for 24 to 48 hours. And with that, we're confident that if they've seen Dubai for 48 hours, at some point over the next 2 years, we'll see them come back here with their families. Our objective is to ensure that they can continue getting just a hint of what Dubai has to offer. And with that, we'll be able to pull them and convince them that they need to come here for a full-fledged holiday.
Looks like a solid plan is there in place. So, Mr. Bedar, you have also touched the point of visa over here. So I want to also know a little bit on that side. So Dubai has recently introduced a 5-year multiple entry visa to boost travel between India and Dubai. So what further plans are in the pipeline to ease the processes just for the Indian travelers this year?
Sure. So, like you mentioned, we have the 5-year multiple entry visa that was launched recently,
Yeah.
and Indians happen to be obviously the biggest beneficiaries of that, because we know how many Indians have family members living in Dubai, how many Indians have businesses here, how many people have a lot of motivations to come to Dubai. And we see good uptick in terms of Indians wanting to kind of apply and obtain the 5-year multiple visa. And that was the recent one that we introduced. And the good thing about this 5-year multiple visa is that a visitor can bypass the travel agent, because typically this can be done independently. And that was to ensure that we empower Indians to go ahead and apply for themselves with the right documentation that is required there. Apart from that, obviously, we all know the golden visa that was introduced roughly 2 years ago, and that was obviously focusing on attracting two segments. One is people who want to bring in investments to the city, and second was people with exceptional talent, creative talent. And by now we've had scores of Indians who have come and applied for that and received it and are staying in Dubai. I know a lot of celebrities who have also chosen Dubai as a second home. So they spend half of the year in Dubai while some of their family members live back home, and they've been going back and forth. And a lot of them tell me, "Brother, this is home away from home. We feel like Dubai has the right infrastructure. It has a seamless airport arrival, ecosystem. You just come in. You sometimes don't even need to go to the immigration counter. If you have an ID card, you just scan your face or your finger, put your passport. It automatically detects it, and you go in." So we made sure that across the board, all the stakeholders have come together and said, "You know what? Let's study the entire roadmap of an Indian traveler, right from him taking a flight from India into Dubai and out. And how can we make it, at every given point, make it easy as possible for them so that they can have a memorable stay and want to come back with their friends and family?" And a lot of them, they do. So yes, there's the golden visa. And then we have a few other schemes. We have the investor and entrepreneur visas. Investor and entrepreneur visas are 5 years respectively, and this again counts with the property investments of about a minimum of 2 million dirhams. For entrepreneurs, there's an existing project in the pipeline. If they are and they have a minimum capital of about 500,000 dirhams, then they're eligible for the 5-year investor visa as well. And then finally, we have the remote working visa, which was introduced in 2020, on the sidelines of the global pandemic, to ensure that any Indian who wants to come to Dubai remotely and work remotely from Dubai can do so, because at that point, the entire IT infrastructure in India and globally was turning to remote working. So we identified that as an opportunity and quickly went ahead and said, "You know what, let's introduce these visas to Indians." And we saw so many Indians who found Dubai more conducive in terms of policy making for them to continue conducting their business. And that policy and that visa continues till today. And that can also be applied directly through the website without having to go through a specific center or a visa immigration counter. This can be done also very much online. So we made it sure that it's easy, it's quick, and it allows for people to seamlessly spend their time in Dubai. And we know for a fact that if they've stayed here and they've liked it, then we're already building a loyal, a fan in them, and we'll hopefully see them as residents one day.
Lovely, Mr. Beder. So, in the middle of all these positives, I want to also know, in terms of the trends and issues that you have, in your opinion, with regards to the GCC region. I mean, what are the issues if we talk about the region in particular, and how is Dubai positioned in the middle of the same? If you can just share some idea about it.
So if you ask for particular issues, at this point, we don't see any challenges or issues as such. Obviously, there are opportunities around. Obviously, we were glad that we see the entire GCC now building as a tourism destination. So we have a lot of other countries coming on board and then promoting themselves in India, which is great for us, Koelika, because we've already been market leaders. Dubai's number one source market is India, and India's largest outbound destination is Dubai. So that relationship itself puts us in a position where we can help others and we can grow this share together. We also are fully aware of the fact that within India, there's so many new passports being issued so you have repeat visitors, that is our target audience, and then we have first-timers. And I think between the two, there's so much for the world to take. We'd be glad if more Indians can come and travel abroad. And then we know for a fact that Dubai is the gateway for India. So even if Indians want to go to half of the world, they mostly go via Dubai because of the connectivity, the quality of services by airlines, the quality of airport infrastructure. So we know for a fact that within that entire experience, Dubai happens to come in between. All we need to do is just trigger that motivation for them to come within the city. And once they're into our city, then they have a lot of reasons to come back, hopefully. So particularly no challenges as such for us. It's all opportunities. That's been how we've been thinking this through, and that's how we've been able to achieve what we have. We look at opportunities, and even if we see areas where we find a few challenges, we try to turn them into opportunities with the help of with the stakeholders, and they're all aligned. And thankfully, that really helps our efforts to continue to grow our share of voice and visitation, not just from India but from global markets as well.
All right. So with this, we come to the end of this discussion, Mr. Bedar. So any message that you would like to convey to our T3 audience in particular?
I'd first like to thank them. I think the kind of love we get from India, it's unprecedented. So first of all, I'd like to thank every individual reader, traveler, anybody who talks about Dubai, who writes about Dubai, who's a fan of Dubai. We would like to reiterate that Dubai is a destination that has been built to serve your interests. India and Dubai have very close ties as two countries. We've also been very seamless. We have the CEPA agreements in place. I think culturally we're very close. Geographically, we're very close. We just want to keep this relationship going. We want to reaffirm that Dubai will continue to study Indians and will keep tailoring our campaigns, our attractions, our hotel offerings, visa policies, airline policies. Everybody is geared towards growing our share of Indian business, and growth will only come when there's absolute synergy between the two stakeholders. So we're very much just want to welcome everybody this year. We're going to soon kick off our summer campaigns, and we have exciting things lined up for Indians in the summer. And then obviously winter kicks in, and then we have completely different campaigns and segment positioning in the winter as well. So it's going to be a stellar year, inshallah, and we hope that Indians would look at Dubai as the destination of choice, especially with the summer school break coming in within the next couple of weeks.
Absolutely lovely. And I'm sure through this series, we are able to communicate Dubai's perspectives to our global audience. And thank you, Mr. Bedar, for sparing your lovely time and bringing such amazing perspectives and facts for T3 audience. Also thanking the lovely audience for joining the session with us today. This is Kuhelika Roy Chaudhary signing off, as we promise to get back with another detailed session, with another voice and another insightful conversation. Stay tuned for more. Thank you so much.